we are just going to jump right into today's meal prep. First up, I need to make some tortilla strips for a chicken tortilla soup I'm having for dinner tonight. I'm going to use 2 of these cut to carb flatbreads, and I'm just going to cut them in strips. So you see 2 of them here. These are super thin, so if you're not familiar with these flatbreads, they are really thin. So you want to cook them for the least amount of time before you, increase the time or the temperature. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these sliced up, and then I am going to add some avocado oil to a bowl, and then I'm just going to toss those around, add some salt, of course, and we're going to throw these in the air fryer. So you can see here, I'm just going to add in a little bit of avocado oil. I did about a tablespoon of avocado oil, just going to stir that around really, really well. And then we're just going to add a little pinch of salt for flavor. I get questions about this little salt holder. I got it at Marshall's. And I just have my pink salt in there. And then I'm putting them in my air fryer. I'm going to do it for 5 minutes at 400 degrees and see how those turn out. I might toss them a little bit after a few minutes, just kind of toss them around a little bit. But here is how they came out. They came out perfect. So 5 minutes, 400 degrees is perfect. Some of them are crispier than others, but these turned out great. And of course, I'm making some bacon, so this will go into the oven at 400 degrees for 12 minutes. Always have bacon on hand, you guys know. It's just something I like to have on hand for wraps, breakfast, salads, that kind of thing. So bacon is complete. Now we're going to make these really yummy meal prep bowls. These are meatballs over some cheesy cauliflower rice. I love using meatballs for meal prep because you can make them so many different ways. I can't even tell you how many different ways I've made meatballs on my channel. It is insane how many different recipes you can find. And this one's even different than any of them I've ever made before. So I need some cilantro. I need this for dinner tonight also. So I'm just going to do my entire bunch. Always take advantage of meal prepping. Anything you can do to make your life easier for dinners throughout the week, and it's something simple like just cutting up some vegetables, do it while you have your knife out and your cutting board out and you're already in the kitchen. Just do one thing for dinner that'll help you for the rest of the week. Just add it to your meal prep. That's what I do. So this I needed for this recipe, but I also needed it for my chicken tortilla soup, which turned out really good. So preview on that, and I did record that, so that is coming very soon. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get this cilantro chopped up, and then the next ingredient, I need a bouillon cube. It said it was optional. I had them in my cupboard, so I thought, why not? So I'm just going to grab one of these, crush it up. That's what it says to do, crush it up, and then we are going to get the rest of the ingredients together. In our bowl here, we're going to add in 1 pound of ground chicken. You can use ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, whatever you want for this recipe. It would actually be really good for ground turkey as well. So I'm going to put that in my bowl, and then we are going to add in, the next step would be some cheese. So this is 1/2 cup of a shredded cheese. Use whatever kind of cheese that you want to use. And then we're going to add in, I just added in 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. It says to use 1 teaspoon, but I always use a little bit more. And then we're going to put in some Italian herbs. It says 1 teaspoon. Again, I don't normally measure out all my spices, you guys know, unless it's something I'm not familiar with. And then we're going to add in that bouillon, crushed up bouillon cube as well. And then red pepper flakes. You guys know my love for red pepper flakes, but this recipe did call for it, so it's justifiable. So it asked for 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. No, 1/2 teaspoon. I probably put in about 1 teaspoon. They're really spicy. And then you're going to put in your cilantro. It calls for 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro, some salt and pepper, of course. And then to make them even spicier, we're putting in some sriracha. It says 1 tablespoon, but I thought that would be a little bit too much, so I did probably about 1 teaspoon. And then we are going to chop that all up, and we're going to form these into meatballs. Now, I tried to make it into 12. I think I scooped them a little bit too big because I only ended up with, I don't know, we'll see here in a second how many I ended up with. I think I ended up with 10 of them, but so I made them just a little bit. I used my big cookie scoop, or like ice cream scoop, to scoop them out. So I think I probably should make them a little bit smaller, but this is okay. I had other things planned for lunches this week, so I ended up making actually 3 full meal prep bowls out of this, and then one of them only had 2 meatballs, but That's okay. So you see here, there's all my balls. And then we are going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. You just want it to be cooked through. And now we're going to do the rice. So I wanted to do something different. So I had this bag of cauliflower risotto medley in my freezer. So I went ahead and put that in the microwave to thaw it out. I ended up using a one whole plain one also. I did double the rice on this. So I have 1 tablespoon of butter and just a big old heaping scoop of garlic. So I have that in my pan here. We're going to go ahead and saute that up and melt the butter. Once your butter has mostly melted and your garlic is nice and warm, go ahead and add in your cauliflower rice. Now you can use fresh cauliflower rice for this, but I just prefer the frozen, and I went ahead and put them in a microwave for about 5 minutes and thaw them out. And so like I said, I doubled it because it just seems like there's not a lot of cauliflower rice in those bags. So I'm just going to put those in there and then go ahead and mix that up to get the garlic and the butter all mixed up in the cauliflower rice. And for a little bit more flavor, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of bone broth to this and go ahead and mix that around. And here we have 2 tablespoons of cream cheese that's been softened, and I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of this Parmesan Romano grated cheese. Going to give that a good stir. We're also going to add in a few spices. I'm going to do some onion powder and then of course salt and pepper. And after giving that a good stir and making sure that the cream cheese is all melted, I decided it was not cheesy enough. I just wanted to be a little bit cheesier. I tasted it and it just wanted to be just a little bit cheesier. So I did have some of this shredded mozzarella and provolone cheese in the fridge. So I went ahead and just added in, I just measured out 1/8 cup and put that in there and stirred that all around, and then that was perfect. You guys, this is so good. You can make cauliflower rice good. If you're one that does not like cauliflower rice, I think you would like it this way. So good and so much flavor with those spices and, you know, salt and pepper, and the bone broth adds a lot of flavor to it as well. We're going to start filling up our meal prep containers, so I'm just going to put evenly portion out the cauliflower rice. And now time for the meatballs. Look at these meatballs. I forgot to show you guys a clip. Half the time I think I'm recording and it's not like recording. I don't know what happens. So anyway, look at these meatballs. Don't they look good? So I had enough to put 3 in each one, of 3 of them, and 2 of them in the other one. I just ate the other one for lunch this day that I was doing this meal prep because I wasn't that hungry. So here you go. Here is my meatball with cheesy cauliflower rice. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is such a good meal prep. Now for some snacks. I'm going to make some taco cheesy bites. Oh, these turned out so good. I cannot tell you how much I loved these. First thing we need to do is brown up some ground beef. So I have 1 pound of ground beef in my pan here. You want to go ahead and cook this all up and then drain any fat that's in it because you are not going to need it and it will make your balls fall apart. So make sure you drain it really well. So here I have my beef that's been drained really well, and I did let it cool a little bit while I was working on some other things, but it's still a little bit hot. And then I'm adding to that 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, and then we are going to mix that together and get it till it's all combined. Now it does take a little work to do this, so you know, just keep working with it. I did end up having to put my hands in there to get it really mixed up really well. So here's what it looks like when it's all mixed up. We're adding in 1/3 cup of coconut flour. And we're doing 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm doing a whole video on keto flours. It'll be up on Friday, so I will talk more about coconut flour in that video. And then we're doing 2 tablespoons of taco seasonings, and then we're adding in 3 eggs that have been beaten. And now we're going to add in the cheese. So we have 1 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Again, use whatever kind of cheese you want. I have Colby Jack, so that's what I'm using. And then we're going to go ahead and stir that up until everything is combined. Again, you kind of have to work with this a little bit just to make sure that everything is nice and combined. Make sure you get that coconut flour really mixed up in there because coconut flour does some magic after it sits for a while. So we are going to actually let this sit for 15 minutes in the refrigerator to let that coconut flour really soak up and absorb everything, and your balls will be fluffier, they won't be so dense, and they won't fall apart. So go ahead and pop this in the refrigerator for 15 minutes, and then we're going to start portioning these out. I'm using my little small cookie scoop for this. This recipe, they said on the recipe board that I found this on said they made 30 of them, so it really depends on how big, you know, your balls are. But I just used my little cookie scoop, and I think I got 24 out of it. I'm not real positive. I have to go back and look in my Carb Manager. But anyway, yeah, you just do this. You just go ahead and make balls until all your mixture is all portioned out. These will be going into a 350 degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes. Mine took about 18 minutes exactly. And this is what they will look like when they come out. They are so good. They remind me of the sausage egg bites that I first made when I started keto. But these ones are good with that flavor of that taco seasoning was spot on. So highly, highly recommend these. These would be a nice little like snack, or you could have them for like a snack plate for lunch. But no, these are so good. So you guys should make these. They are so easy. You probably have everything on hand. Highly recommend these. And there is my quick and easy meal prep for the week. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and let me know what you are meal prepping. I want to hear. Put it in the comment section down below, and I will have any recipes I mentioned in the description box, so check out that box, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.